So, welcome to the Untitled podcast. As ever, I'm joined by the illustrious Welsh miniature board gamer, the Nylothotep to my Azathoth. Two elder gods. Yep, nope.
Sure, elder for sure. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. I think
It was a compliment.
Okay, it's a compliment to be called old one and a destroyer of worlds. Okay, brilliant.
I think so. I think that's rather nice.
There you go. Thank you.
You're don't use the moniker for Azathoth. I'm not saying you're a blind idiot because he's known because he is known as the blind idiot god. But
let me take my glasses off. Now you're spot on. Right.
Oh, wicked. But yeah, so we're having some fun doing these podcasts, and we're deciding this today. We're going to talk about YouTube and what it's like to be a YouTuber, our favourite channels, things like that, things we dislike and like, and answering a couple of questions, which is quite cool.
Yep.
So, because obviously you're going to start this off, I'm going to drop you in the deep end.
Oh, thank you so much.
Because as ever, you've done more prep than me. I've just got a little piddly list on my phone. Look at this. Rains.
Just do my best newscaster impersonation here.
Were you the swatty kid at the back of class?
Not at all. I was the sporty kid who was never doing very good in school.
You're making up for it now.
Well, I'm trying to. My body's giving up, so I have to try and work on the brain now.
Right. Okay, so YouTube as a whole, where do you want to start with?
Well, I think start at the beginning for us. I think like why we started the YouTube channels, because that is the beginning for us anyway. So I live in a tiny Welsh town with just over 2,000 people in it, so it is tiny. I know by sight about 3/4 of the people who live in my town. That's kind of the place where I live. So obviously there aren't that many people to share my passion with. Smaller group of people, there's going to be smaller group of people who play games, etc. Especially maybe in this sort of rural community. People have got other things and see gaming probably as a little bit of a geeky thing still, because we're still a little bit behind what a lot of people think, But, so that was kind of the reason, number one, why I wanted to start my YouTube channel, was to, spread my passion, talk about something that I love. I love the miniature painting, I love the gaming, I love all of that sort of thing. Second of all, I couldn't find reviews online of miniatures, say, that went from unboxing all the way to painting. You'd see people showing you a box, and they might put them together if you were lucky, but they didn't actually paint them and show you what they looked like painting. And I figured, well, if I was looking for that, maybe other people were looking for that too. So that's kind of, why I thought, I might have something to show and something to say, which a lot of YouTubers might not have at the time done. There are plenty now that do it, but not so much then. My YouTube channel is getting on a bit now. I don't actually know how old it is.
Yeah, I was about to ask actually, how long have you been going?
I think it's about 8 years.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Don't look at my old videos though; they are awful. They are so bad. But that was sort of number 2 reason. Number 3 reason is I wanted to encourage sort of average players, average painters, people just getting into this sort of thing, that it's okay to be average or poor at it. It doesn't matter as long as you're getting some sort of enjoyment from the process, of doing these things. And I think that was a huge thing that I wanted to get across. A lot of YouTubers are aimed at, this is for beginners, and it'll show you how to wet blend and stuff like that. And it's like, that is not for beginners. That is really not for beginners. So I that's why I sort of think is I wanted to get across that it's okay to enjoy the experience, even if you're not getting the results that, people are telling you should get. And that's kind of the reason why I got into YouTube originally.
That's good. I like that. And again, it's something it shows in your videos. This is why. I don't know how long I've been following you now. It's got to be a little over a year.
Yeah. I think you mentioned me in a video. It was just over a year ago.
Yeah.
So otherwise this amazing union would never have been made.
I don't know about amazing, unholy maybe.
Unholy. Speak for yourself.
Mate, them tentacles when they get to Wales, that's it. It's all over. End of days.
So what about yourself?
Yeah, so I've only been going. I've recently 2 years, a couple of weeks ago, as of recording this. But very similar stuff. So I was very aware because I'd sort of left the hobby for a little bit, and then I chucked a load of stuff away, and then I sort of got back into it. And I was like, oh, I really wish I'd kept them old minis because I could see how far I've come, and so that was my initial thing. Because I want a record of this. So I can see my old paint jobs because I was doing a lot of commission work back then as well. And then obviously COVID hit. I had a lot of free time for that initial period because we were closed for like 3 months. And I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. Plus my neighbours are actually quite a large YouTube channel, weirdly. So I'll give them a shout out, Just Untitled Gaming. Go check them out. And we I gave them, because I did a bit of video and media in college. So I gave them some tips on editing. And then they were like, right, if this is what you need to set up. They let me my first mic, showed me the software and everything, and help from there. And then after about 2-3 months, it was very much like, you know what, let's do this as it's a record for me. So should I don't know, friends, family, if I'm lucky enough to have kids, if they ever want to see it, they can go, yep, this is at the moment it's my nephews and this and they go like, this is what your Uncle Gord gets up to. I'll bleep that.
Yeah,
Uncle,
well done.
Uncle Crafty. But yeah. And then I thought, well, if there's a lot of newbies, because it seemed like, again, like yourself, a lot of the newbie stuff, I was like, that's not user-friendly. Because I felt like I had to restart, so I was looking at all the newbie stuff, and I was like, this is shit I've learned over the years, and we've got to get this sorted. Not that I'm saying I've got the answers, but just trying to keep it simple was always the idea. And for me, I mean, look, if it was monetised, yeah, great, of course, we'd all love to do something that is a hobby. But if I could just help people and inspire people, I've done my job. I know that sounds corny and it's what everyone says, but genuinely, if someone can go, dude, I love your paint work, it's inspired me to paint, go for it.
Yeah. No, I don't think it is corny. I think most YouTubers start out that way. I think it's hanging on to it is maybe a problem when it becomes something more than your passion project.
Yeah. Because for me, if whatever I'm painting, excluding a couple of projects where I have said because they're commission jobs, everything I have put my own hard-earned cash into. If I'm painting it, I've bought it out my own money.
Yeah,
because I understand with sponsorships and stuff that come when you're a bigger channel, but I still think it can cloud it a little at times.
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to bring up a bit later in their conversation. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Excuse me, but yeah, basically, I love the hobby. I'm glad I got back into it, and I'm just enjoying the journey, to be honest.
Yeah. It was the same with me. Like I painted when I was preteen even, so that's like 40 years ago about, maybe. I was painting, and then I just fell out of love with it. It just wasn't for me. For some reason, I've
just thought of right. So when you started painting, was it all black and white?
No, it was sepia. Charming. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, I fell into a bit of a spiral of depression or what have you. So I got out of the hobby then. That was kind of, it just wasn't for me for a while. And then I picked it back up actually maybe like, I don't know, about 15 years later maybe.
Oh wow.
It was okay. Yeah, it was like once I got married, I had We just had the children. They were just starting school, and I was like, well, I got a bit of time now. What am I going to do with that time? And I was like, well, I could start painting again. So that was kind of it. Like yourself, I checked out a load of stuff, which I wish I'd never done, but I did check out a load of stuff. And looking back on it, it was a bad idea. At the time, it wasn't a bad idea. I just didn't want to see the things lying around because it was depressing seeing stuff which I used to find enjoyable and I didn't anymore. So I just wanted rid of that stuff.
Yeah,
I did manage to keep some of the miniatures, luckily. So I have kept a bunch of stuff, but so I came back into it after quite a long thing. So like yourself, I sort of tried to reteach myself how to do the painting by looking online, etc. And like this was quite a few years ago, so the YouTube wasn't quite what it is now. It's not quite so commercial as it is now. It was much more people sharing their hobbies and sort of that. And I love that. I love that era of YouTube, where it was just, hey, this is me doing this, and it wasn't too. It didn't shine the turd too much.
Yeah. Well, that's a proper British phrase, but completely true. Yeah, it's. I mean, we'll get onto this in a bit, but yeah, there's some issues with YouTube, but
yeah.
No, that's a good start and a fair point. Like, I will never discourage people to start a channel and have fun with it, because go for it. Even if you think you're the worst painter or the worst miniature hobbyist in the world, I bet you there's something you do that people go, oh, I like that.
And even if you're teaching the same thing as everyone else, you might sort of connect with someone in a way that they don't connect with someone else for some reason, and that is a big thing. Personality is a big thing. Mm-hmm. One of the other reasons why I sort of took up this hobby of YouTubing was I'm terrible at communicating. I've always been terrible at communicating and being around people. I hate being around people. I probably got some autism there somewhere, and some of that sort of stuff. So this was kind of my way to teach myself to come out of my box a little bit and to speak to people and to communicate, and without actually putting myself out there too much.
If you do hear random, I've got no one locked away. That's just random kids playing on the estate.
That's what he says.
I don't do that anymore.
That cupboard is too full of skeletons.
I've stopped sacrificing to the elder gods. No, that's a good point though. Actually, I struggle with talking to people, especially when I first meet them. Yeah, I'll quite happily, because I've had people in the past when I used to go to the local game store and I'll be painting. People come up and go, oh, how did you do that? And I'll happily talk about it through the process and show them stuff, give them tips. And I was like, well, that was part of it. Well, just let's get this up on video and people can it's there forever then as well.
Exactly. It's giving you a topic to talk about and a topic that you've got some knowledge in. So it's not small talk. That's the thing that's terrible always for me. It's small talk. I'm terrible at small talk.
So you've got quite an extensive list for this subject. What's next on your list?
Okay, well, for me, it would be pros and cons of being a YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
So, me being, this grand, huge YouTuber with 840 followers, or subscribers, I should say.
No, followers. It's a cult.
It's a cult, yeah. Turn everybody Welsh in the end.
Oh, dear.
Watch it. Okay, so the one of the cons and a pro, I think, of being a YouTuber is keeping to deadlines.
Yeah.
So that's a pro and a con. For me, it's a pro in that I've got a deadline and I have to finish these paint jobs or these models. Yeah. So it puts a little bit more emphasis on me getting actual things finished.
Yeah.
But it's also a con for exactly the same reason. It puts pressure on me to get these things done, and maybe I will rush steps in order to finish the thing, to put it up on Monday or whatever, So maybe sometimes I might cut corners, which I wouldn't do usually, because this is my hobby, and I don't really want to put pressure on myself too much because it is my hobby. But I also understand that people, for some reason want to see a video from me. So, I need to get stuff done. So that's a pro and a con in my mind.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely something early on I struggled with. I was doing, I think it was a video every 3 days.
Wow.
And you could also see the quality was suffering. And then I went to 1 a week, and that's it. Well, occasionally chuck something up if it was like when we did the role play of Alien RPG. That was a different day but the hobby stuff was every Friday. Done.
Yeah. So like mine is every Monday, and I was doing like a battle report or whatever every Friday as well. But they were separate things, which I could do those easily enough because they the battle reports actually take longer than the reviews, obviously, because all I have to do is sit down and show you, what I managed to paint up, which I was doing in my spare time anyway.
Yeah.
But battle reports, there's a lot of editing and what have you to make it even remotely watchable.
Yeah. That sort of goes on to something I'd say is the editing side of it. So a lot of my favourite YouTubers, I find it fascinating. There's always at some point in their sort of YouTube career, quote unquote, they'll do something like where they came from, their background, and a lot of them are in video sort of editing sphere before they did YouTube and things like that.
Yeah.
I dabbled with it a little bit at college. But that was it really, and that just trying to get to grasp with that. Like my first few videos, you could tell the autofocus on the mobile phone was crap, and the lighting wasn't the very best, and all this sort of stuff.
No. Same here. No, but like I started out with a Logitech. Well, until recently, I used the Logitech 1080 webcam, and that was kind of what I recorded everything on. And I didn't understand that the autofocus would like pop in and out, like whenever it wanted to do, regardless of what I wanted to do. So the editing, like when I was in school, the only computers we had was something called the BBC computers, and
I know what they are.
Yeah, it kind of had the power of a Spectrum or something. It was like you couldn't do editing, etc. on them. They were just, they could do basic programming, and that's about it. So obviously, I didn't actually study any IT courses in school. So that sort of part of it is a con for me. Actually, that is my number 2 con, is the technology. I'm terrible with technology.
Okay.
Awful. As you know, I don't even own a mobile phone, which, most people just look at me in horror when I say that. It's like, how dare you? Just something. Technology is not so. I like computers. I like playing games, computer games, etc. But the actual technology behind the machines and the programming, etc., is something that I just. It's like a foreign language to me. I just do not understand it.
Yeah.
And that's something that. Yeah, that's just something that you have to deal with. If you're going to be a YouTuber, you have to learn certain skills, and editing is one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Sort of, and again, tying into that is the kit that some people say you do and don't need. I am still genuinely, I film everything on my mobile phone that I use every day. That's where all my footage is done, and then it's just chucked onto the computer, and then I go into my software and edit it. I don't bother with. I haven't got a flash camera just because I can't afford it as well.
No.
For a good miniature camera, I mean, even second hand, you're looking at like £200-300.
At least, I remember watching someone and they were thinking, "Oh, this is a really good camera, and it's a Canon something or other, and it's like almost $1,000 or something."
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm not going to spend that on something which is kind of more my hobby than it's not my job. If it was my job, fair enough, maybe you would invest in it. But this is like something you do on top of your normal life. It's not. I can't afford that sort of money to spend on that sort of thing. So, like I said, I had a Logitech 1080p webcam, and I had a I think, a £20 microphone that I bought from Amazon or eBay. You know, it was just a cheap little thing that I just chucked down, and that's what I had up until about a year ago. You know, and the only reason why I've upgraded now is because it was my birthday, and my wife thinks, okay, you know, I'll buy you that. You know, so you know, I got a better camera and I got a better microphone.
Yeah,
you know,
certain stuff. Like a good light, I went and spent, I think that was £80. Like my computer is a hand-me-down from my housemate, running on an old TV and stuff. Like I don't mind not having the best kit, because I'd rather put the money into the hobby.
100%. That's kind of like, even when I got the new microphone and all, I felt kind of guilty that I wasn't spending it on something that I could show people.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know, it's behind the scenes stuff which most people don't really care all that much about, and yet they do also. You know, they want a certain volume, a certain clarity, and a certain decent amount of, you know, picture. But I think like a decent phone now does those things for you. You know,
like I've recently, my videos are now in 4K because I found out my phone can film in 4K. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just do it on that. There you go.
What's that button do?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, like, and yet I'll spend loads of money on minis and paints and various accoutrement that goes with the hobby.
I'm quite stingy. I must admit, I am quite stingy when it comes to my hobby. And I buy one box set of miniatures a month, so 20 odd quid, say, and maybe the odd paint like a month, just so, you know, to replace what I've used. And anything else, I think, oh, you're spending a bit much there. But you know, everybody's different. You know, everybody's got different, you know, different amounts of money that they can spend on certain things. And hell, if I had a bit more money, I would be spending more money on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's not like I think it's wrong that people spend a lot of money on their hobbies. Hell, if you've got that money, spend it on your hobbies. It's better than spend it on bills. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've cut the spending down a lot recently, because a lot of the stuff I'm painting on the channel is older minis I've just had sitting in storage. I'm like, oh, actually, I'll paint on that. Looks nice. So, with the exclusion of Moonstone, that's my new resin crack.
Yeah, that's your new rabbit hole that you've slipped into. Yeah, and I can't blame you. They're nice looking miniatures.
Beautiful game. But yeah, that's because that could technically be a con. The hobby itself, it can be expensive. I
think that's a con for every gamer, though. That's not just a YouTuber thing. You know?
Yeah. But I don't know. Sometimes, especially when like this, and we're hitting this corpse again. But GW, if they release a specific box set, everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing that, and I'm just like, I can't afford that. And also, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not a big fan of painting that stuff. But like, if I was looking at it, if you were to keep up with the trends of the releases, this is thousands of pounds a year.
And okay, we'll come back to GW another day, but I do think that GW is very predatory. They are aiming at people who come into the hobby thinking, oh, you need this, you need that, you need this. And they're trying to sell people like hundreds of pounds worth of miniatures, and then kind of saying after that, oh yeah, but if you want to play the proper game, here's another £100 worth of miniatures that you're going to need to play the proper game, but this is kind of to get you started. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not even close to what you need to get started. And I find that very... It's not in the spirit of gaming, to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
So, yeah, we'll probably have to come back to GW another day, because I know that there's a topic there.
Oh, that's a whole episode rant, that is. I'll get me soapbox out for that one. So another sort of pro and con of YouTube. So pro is you get to share your thoughts and ideas, which I think is good, and then also that's, like you were saying, YouTube is obviously more commercialised now, but that's how it started off. Everyone was just sharing ideas, which is good.
It
and
was
learning
like
off other people.
Yeah, it was like a Reddit, basically. It was like, you know...
Yeah.
Yeah. Or people used to put them up on their own little webs, pages, etc. It was very much old school. I miss those days, but things move on, and you have to move with it.
Yeah. A con for me, and this is something you know about this. We've chatted about this privately. I struggle with trying to be relevant with my stuff, and I worry at times because I'm just hashing the same sort of topics when I'm doing my painting tutorials and whatnot. That's why some of them you might just get a little bit of audio at the start, and then it's just a video with some music, or not. Sometimes not even that. It's just a video goes up. There's me painting the mini. Because of that, I'm very conscious of repeating myself.
Right. So, if I can just think my wizened opinion on that, I would rather you repeat yourself than not talk, personally.
Okay.
Because I watch most of my YouTube while painting.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm watching YouTube and listening, I will often miss what is being shown by someone.
Okay.
But I pick it up in what I hear. So if someone says, "Oh, I'm placing this coat over this coat," my mind fills that in. And to be honest, I don't think many people worry too much about people repeating themselves if it's a different miniature. If you're painting the same Space Marine over and over and over again, people would. But even just saying, "Oh, I'm using this color this time," or "I'm using this color over this," I think is just that's enough. It's people. I think for me, I like to hear what's happening.
Yeah.
But that's a personal thing. So
No, that's
I'm not telling you how to run your channel.
No, because as of recording, I got a video coming up with nothing on it.
Oops. I'm sure it'd be a bloody amazing video too.
It'll be alright. But no, so what I've done is little things like, so if I'm doing, let's say, a Moonstone box set, I'll do a video on the one, or if it's a bigger box set, maybe 2 minis, and then paint the rest in my own time, because then I get a bit of painting for me, where I haven't got to worry about the cameras and the lights and everything and the setup, and then I get them all together at the end of that video and go, this is the full set done. Because I'm using techniques that are on all of them anyway.
Yeah, no, I get that. That makes sense. But I don't think there's a problem with you if you're using the same techniques, because basically we're just putting pigment down onto a plastic thing. Yep. So I don't think there's a bad thing if you moved on to another, I don't know, painting a troll, then showing them how you paint the troll. You're doing a lot of the same techniques, but it's on this troll. And I think that's different enough that it doesn't matter that, you are repeating yourself. You're just putting pigment on a plastic figure. But I think it comes across better if you do, talk a little bit, so people can hear you as well, enjoy your dulcet tones.
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you, actually, weirdly, one thing, if for anyone who goes back and watches my first lot of videos, especially my prologue episode, so the idea was always, I wanted like a running theme, like a story in the background that ran, and it all revolved around Sally, who was basically this little shoggoth who inspires me to do the painting. There was this big narrative theme that eventually went to the wayside, and it's just painting videos now. But there's I went back and watched, it's one of my favourite pieces, and it has done atrociously on the channel, but my Yellow King episode, I did this really horrible face, because it's one of my favourite sort of cosmic horror novels, of the Yellow King, and I did this thing where there was a deliberate intro with some of the narration from the book at the start and the end as well. It's just like part of it is almost like a lore within the painting thing, which I'm actually considering going back to and writing. So like if, for example, I'm painting, I don't know, vampire, maybe read some vampire lore, some generic vampire lore or something, just to add a bit of flavour to it.
For me personally as a viewer, I would quite like that. If you didn't feel like discussing the paint job as you're doing it, talking about something linked to that miniature is something, that there is an audio that I can, digest, and I'm probably going to find interesting, you can doing videos that you love and then viewers not liking them, that's YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not everybody catches on to the same thing at the same time, or then there's and it might be that they're interested in that thing. It's just some reason it didn't get to them or whatever. It's YouTube. You can't question it. Just go with the flow.
Yeah, it's like I did. What was it called? I can't remember what it's called now. But it's basically looking at the links here with the tentacles, but the cosmic horror within 40k and in particular Nurgle. And I just did this one plague marine that I customised and did loads of sculpting on, painted it. And the amount of people going, "Oh, can you paint more 40k?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, mate, that's not my channel." I just wanted to talk about that cosmic horror that's within the game
because that spoke to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so moving on then, I suppose. Another pro, I think, is again interacting with the community.
Yeah,
I love that. That that is amazing. Brilliant. I love it when people put comments up on my videos. Because I can reply to them, and I can ask them questions, or they can ask me questions. You can interact, and I try and put up like as well as a video. I try and put up a post once a week, so people can have their say in something or other. Which
you did the poll recently about what to paint next. And I clicked on that. I was like, oh, I'd love to see them being done. And I won't say which one I voted for.
Okay. I will say when I was putting up the post about like, shall I paint some of my old miniatures, and it was like 97% yes, and so I worked out there was one person who said no, and I was thinking, I wish that person would have told me why they didn't want me to do this, because it would help me. And the other day I was saying it to my daughter, and my daughter just sort of looked at me out the corner of her eye, and I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I might have put no.
Oh.
And her reasoning behind it was, you got enough new stuff to paint. You don't have to go back to your old ones.
Fair. Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
But that was really, because it was really sort of playing on my mind why someone had said no, because it was kind of like, everyone's going to want this. And it's like, I wonder who that was. And then it turned out it was my daughter.
And I'm assuming she has now been banished from the household.
Well, she's going to have to clean all the old miniatures now, as punishment.
Harsh. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I have bought some of that paint strippers that you had.
That stuff's
did that video on. So
yeah. It'll say on the tub, and this is also for anyone else listening. I'm looking at it now. It'll say "Dunk your mini, paint it on." Mm-hmm. Paint on. You can stretch that tub for a lot longer.
Right. Okay.
And it still comes off lovely. Yeah, it's really good stuff. That is. But yeah, interaction's cool. Like this would not have happened.
So hang on, link in the video below, to his video, and all that stuff. Come on, let's be professional about this. Come on,
But interactions definitely like this. So this wouldn't have happened. Recently as well, I put a post up on another channel who's not long started, does a lot of shorts, Craft Crusades. Okay. And he's got a cool spin as well. So he's from his accent, he's from the Midlands, and he's like, go and paint an old 80s, 90s mini. Let's see what you can do. And I did it, and I had so much fun doing that video.
Yeah,
and it was the mini that the very first mini I ever painted. I managed to find another copy.
Wow!
And I loved doing that video. That was cool.
Yeah, I bet.
That was fun. Definitely enjoying the old retro stuff.
Yeah, that was the that sounded like the scream of death in the background.
Yeah, I was like, something happened.
So that was my pros and cons of YouTube, anyway. So, so the next thing I got is, have you got any more pros and cons that you want to?
No, I suppose a tip that comes from a con is don't worry about trying to stay relevant. Just do you. People are coming to see you and enjoy your processes, and that's what they stay for. And don't worry about the whole view thing, and because I used to worry about that so much, because then I'd do I don't know, a short to get 9,000 views, and I'm like, I've got to just do shorts. No, just put up what I want to put up. If it helps, good. Keep it honest, and that's something I've learned from yourself.
Oh, thank you. I honestly, 100% agree with that. It's people will come to your channel or they won't come to your channel. If you're doing 40k and you don't like 40k, they will pick up on that. You know. And if you do like 40k, you know, go with God.
Whoa! Oh, we're doing that GW episode, man. Just for the hate, the pure hate we're gonna get.
Oh wow, we're gonna get some hate.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So be true to yourself. You know,
definitely.
In the end, being a sellout, you might make a bit of money from it. You might get followers from it. But you might be surprised by how little you probably will get money-wise out of it until you're huge.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not worth the sellout, you know?
No, 100% agree.
Yeah. So, okay, well, things I don't like about YouTube and maybe other YouTube channels. Okay, so this is going to be... so, first of all, I don't like... that people are forced to watch adverts on my channel, which I wasn't aware of until you pointed it out the other day. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a new thing YouTube done, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah. That I have no say in what they show, and I don't want adverts on my channel. I want people just to watch it and enjoy it and not have to watch, I don't know, the latest series on Netflix being advertised or, you know, I don't know, Timu or whatever, you know. It's not what I want. It's not. I know why they do it, because they can make money from you, even if you're a small channel. But it just feels wrong. Yeah, it's not what I want.
Completely agree. I've sent them a letter just saying, well, if you're doing this, I want money. You're making ad revenue off me and put it on my videos.
Yeah.
Because there was always that little box which I liked, which is just no ads.
Yeah,
and
that's what I clicked.
That's gone. Completely gone.
See, I didn't know that.
I think, from what I understand, it's because they're pushing the YouTube Premium subscription.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Just to get, but then it's the same with everything: Netflix, Amazon. You know, you have Prime or whatever, and then it says, "Oh, for an extra £4, no ads."
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, it's like I'm sure there are certain programs that certain people might be able to download, which might circumvent certain adverts, but not that I'm advertising them or I'm
I'll whack up a disclaimer.
But I'm pretty sure they exist.
Yep.
You know, not that I would ever use one at all. But
satire, ladies and gentlemen, satire.
But you know, I think, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. The adverts, which, you know, I haven't agreed to.
Yeah, completely agree with that.
So another thing I don't like so much these days is how polished videos are. It's become much more. It feels like it's losing its charm. YouTube is a lot of ways. You know, it's almost like watching a Netflix or an Amazon program, you know, where they have these quick changes and, you know, these beautiful shots. And it doesn't feel so homely or so passion-fueled now. It feels more like you're selling a package more than the passion.
Yep.
That's, you know, that's a personal thing. I'm sure there's a lot of people who love all this really cool, you know, aesthetic of, you know, these shots. But I think sometimes you're editing out the soul of the video, you know, by putting too much in it, you know, too polished. It becomes just another polished thing, you know.
Yeah, it's sort of like it sits in the mould of where everyone else is going. So I make a point now, I will deliberately look for channels with small subscriber counts. Because, it's why I like your stuff, it's honest. It's a guy who's gone, I've bought this box with my own money, this is me making them, this is what they look like painted, they're pretty cool, these are my things I like and don't like. I'm like, oh,
thank you.
Cool, that's what I want. Because if I'm going to go and buy, I don't know, let's say, I'm trying to think of a box, the Knolls you did recently, I'm going to watch your video and go, oh, okay, so that's what they look like made together, Cool. Right, that's a kit I can get behind. I'll go and put my own cash into that.
Yeah. And that was what I wanted with the channel, was, you know, to give that sort of, you know, I try not to shit on things too much.
Yeah.
You know, because someone's going to like it. But I try and point out the flaws in, you know, a box set and what I see as the positives in the box set. So, you know, I never want to shit on someone's creativity. So someone has sculpted those sculpts, you know, and I don't want someone to think, oh, well, you know, that person did a decent enough job and a better job than I could have ever done. So I don't want to be mean about it, but I do want to show, okay, yeah, these things do have mold lines. You do have to work on them, you know.
See, within that as well, one thing I will say, I like with yourself and some other YouTubers, which we'll mention later. You know, when you've done a mini and you've painted him and you've shown it off, you will go and do like, oh, and this is it compared to this completely different brand and scale. Because you do like Rangers of the Shadow Do, which we spoke about a few weeks ago, because it's miniature agnostic. Mm-hmm. You're taking bits from everywhere to make the thing that you want to do, and it's nice to see it so people go, oh, okay, so the scale's there. Like, these kits will fit with this kit, and I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's useful information. You know, it's something that I even get asked quite often. You know, well, does it fit with this kit? Well, I don't own every plastic kit. It might seem like it, but as of yet, I've still got some to buy, so I can't be 100% sure. But you know, most kits will fit together to a certain degree. Yeah, you know.
It shows as well. You don't have to go all in with that game, and spend, because especially if it's an expensive game, you can go and buy other. Again, going back to the flies you did for Rangers, I thought it was brilliant. You got the official ones, and they were cool. And then it was like, but I got these Halloween decorations and just painted them. And like, oh, okay, there you go, perfect. Does exactly what you need it to do.
Exactly, you know, and I that coming back to like that sort of no nonsense passion, you know, heart of this thing. That's what I see in your painting as well. You know, not trying to blow smoke up your ass or whatever. Oh no,
let's have a moment where we just riffing on each other. This is good. I'm a good painter. Oh, thank you.
You know, nice. I think, you know, you do show that you're painting something because you're enjoying it, you know, and I hate to say it, but there are better painters than you in the world.
100%.
But I think you get across how to paint better than most of them.
Yeah, I mean, my key mantra is always have fun.
But I do think, you know, some of these great painters are great artists, you know?
Yes.
And I think because they're really good artists, they forget how normal people paint.
Okay, interesting, yeah. I can see what you're getting at.
You know, it's like if I went to Rembrandt and said, you know, can you teach me how to paint? You know, he would go, oh, do we do this? Do you do this? You know, haha. Yeah. You know, and I'll be like, what? You know, I'd rather go to like a guy in school to teach me how to paint because, you know, he's been there recently and he knows how to do the steps.
Yeah.
While like a master has forgotten a lot of the stuff, like, you know, learning, you know, brush control, etc. Because, you know, they've been doing it for a long time. I think you're still at the point, you're a very good painter, but you're still at the point where you're in touch with normal painters. Okay. You know, that you can communicate things better to them than someone who is like, this is my 20th wet blended shade over this miniature. Yeah. You know, where I think most people would be like, I'm not doing 20 wet blended shades.
Yeah. There's a time and place for it. Like, I will spend time on a lot of stuff, but 28mm scale, base colour wash, base colour boom, off you go.
And like I said, I'm not shitting on your paint jobs. Your paint jobs are bloody amazing. I love your paint jobs. I have one of your painted miniatures, which you
might be worth something in a couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, I'm going to keep that in a glass case. Yeah. But you know, I think losing contact with how normal people are and how normal people paint.
Yeah.
I think is a problem with some YouTubers. They've gone so advanced in their skills that they've forgotten what it was like to try and work your way up to those skills.
Yeah.
And they think, oh yeah, wet blending, that's something everybody knows. This is how you do it. And it's like, well, I can't do that. Show me in slower steps. How am I meant to do that?
Yeah.
And, I think you do that well. I think you show the steps better because, I think you're a relatable guy. I can connect with you more than I can connect with some of them who I think, I've spent 20 years painting for GW. Now I'm set up my own channel. And it's, it's hard to relate to them because they actually did it as a job for all those years.
Yeah, professional painting, which is a skill in its own. But and it goes back to that newbie thing we were talking about. Stop aiming for those. I mean, if you get there, great. You've worked hard for it and you've got there, brilliant. But you don't think that once you buy that many in those paints and you go, well, that's what they've used.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get the same. No, I guarantee they're not using the same shit as you for a start. They're using their own personal pissing paints. They're not using the branded or whatever. But
is that brand paint pissing paints?
Yeah, they've got a different title.
Right?
Begins with a C and ends in Itadel. But
okay.
But yeah, like what a lovely thing. It's one of my favourite comments on a video that got some really horrible comments as well, and rightly so because the music was fucking atrocious. But my pro acryl, because I did reviews because of you as well, by the way. Because you were doing reviews, and I was like, well, I'm doing that. That's an easy video. That's a filler.
Easy filler. Charming.
I know. Well, that's it. You start doing it, and you're like, oh, shit, this isn't easy. Oh, no.
Well, but it's not as hard as some.
yeah. But my pro acryl one, and this guy, because I did this little mini, I bashed it out, and just did some painting, and this guy was like, you know what, mate, your review's really good. I won't be buying them because that's more for like a display piece. And I was like, you know what? That is absolutely right. Yeah. My running file painting is this side of me, which is my Vallejo. That's what I use the majority of the time.
I love Vallejo.
Yeah.
It's like we said in I think our previous video. It's a consistent paint. It's a paint that you know what you're getting. Yeah. You can work if it has any failings, which aren't many. You can learn to work around those failings easy enough. Yeah, definitely. It doesn't take a degree in chemistry in order to work the stuff. Okay, so should we move on to another one?
Yeah. Great.
Okay, sponsored content. Okay, so I get that people have to get paid if this is their job. I get that. That is the reason why they do it. They want money, Can
I just point out at this point, Welsh is the diplomat of us both. Because I'm going to go on a tirade about this. But
I try to be the diplomat. He's the tentacles, I'm the fan. So, yeah. The worst part is when the sponsor has absolutely nothing to do with the hobby. So it's like, oh, I got this brilliant mattress. Now I've slept brilliantly. Now I can paint better than ever. Or I've got food from this brand, and now I can make my own meals. What's that got to do with my hobby? Why are you showing me this? If it's to do with the hobby, I can kind of, okay, fair enough. You're going to be slightly jaded towards that product because you're selling it. You're now their spokesman. Yeah. But at least it's to do with the hobby. Yeah. When it's nothing to do with the hobby. Oh, I play Raid. And, it's like, what has that got to do with me and why I'm here? Yeah. So that's a big bugbear for me. So now a word from our sponsor. French Cuts and Tentacles, the dating app.
Is that legit? Carry talking. I'm on my phone. I'm finding that.
Yeah, contact the Crafty Mini for all your perverse and weird.
This is not building up a good character image for me.
Oh, by the end of this, you're going to come out of it.
Man. I'm going to make some tentacles that just sit behind me when we do a podcast.
Just reaching over your shoulders.
Yeah. No, I get that. It's if I remember right, I believe it was because of the late great Total Biscuit is the reason why YouTube now has sponsored content on the top when people do sponsored content, because he was basically he was a computer game reviewer who basically was calling people like going, you're doing reviews, you're clearly getting a bit of money here, and you're bigging this game up and you don't like it. So, and then because of him, you have the sponsored content. Is the way I understand it. I think it's a tough one. So if it's a legit, like you say, if it's something to do with the hobby, yes. Like if P3 have sent me these paints, I'm going to tell you what I think of them. Fine. Yeah. And I think most of the time, the person you listen to and the way they're interacting, you can tell if they're being legit. But there are some you go, ooh, okay. Like I'll tell you one of the ones I actually it wasn't hobby related, but I agreed with it, was Miniac years ago had Audible, and that for me I was just like, yeah, because I listen to audiobooks when I'm painting, right, and that's part of it to get my mind going, and but yeah, I think it's definitely got to be hobby related. Like I'm sick of seeing World Warships advert, and I'm like, well, at least paint a pissing ship. Like that, then I'd be like, yeah, great, cool. That's at least there's a link there. But it's just like not to call it certain companies, but certain, was it something fresh food boxes, and you're like, what's that got to do? You paint the Space Marine. What are we doing? Yeah.
I think it's goodbye fresh.
Yeah. Yes, I like it.
Yes.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, if HelloFresh you want to come and sponsor us.
Well, yeah, sure. I could always do with not buying shopping for a bit.
Or if it's themed. So there's this is a computer game channel, but the Spiffing Brit, if you've ever heard of him. So he always made a point in his videos. He never got paid for this at the start. He would always just plug Yorkshire tea. Have a cup of Yorkshire tea. He's a British lad. And then eventually they did sponsor him for a few videos, and he was like, well, of course I'm taking your money. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Because at that point, you've already shown that you like something anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like me reviewing a miniature. Like if I've shown that I like a certain miniature and someone says, "Oh, here's a box of them," it's like, well, I've already reviewed it, so sure, I'll take it. You know?
Definitely. That's why when I do reviews, and again, it goes back to that, I'm putting my own cash in this. So I will be brutally honest. Like for example, the Villainy Ink range, because I love the Grimdark Compendium, and I love that painting style. Now, Pete, I've had someone message me on the channel go, you haven't used them for ages, for months, and I'm like, yep, completely agree. They are enamel washes for a very specific paint job when I'm doing it, but I love them, and I said in the review, don't buy them because they're very expensive for what they are, and there's a massive learning curve. It took me 2 months to figure those out. Yeah.
Well, and like I think I watched that video actually, and I think you said at the time it is for a intermediate or higher painter.
Yeah.
You know, and so you weren't saying don't buy them. You were just saying if you're a beginner, don't buy them. You know, so you know, it's a completely different thing. You know, and that's fair enough. That's a good comment. You know, that's constructive. You know.
Yeah.
It's when you say, "Oh, this paint is brilliant. There's nothing wrong with it. You'll never get a better, a better paint." You know, and we are sponsored by. And it's like, okay.
See, with that as well, what's even more telling is because this is how sad and anal I am. I'll go and watch videos a couple of months later, and you're like, "You're not using them paints that you raved about. You're still going back to your Pro Acryl or your Overlay or whatever it might be."
There's a few people I've noticed that, and certain ones that are meant to be on the painting team of a certain company, and you think, hang on, you're not using that paint, and yet you just said how brilliant it was and how you never have to buy any other paints, and yet you're using other paints. So obviously,
I would just say as well, and I will be completely honest in this. Some of this for me is fucking jealousy as well. I will be honest, because sometimes you see those beautiful shots of their layout, and they have got walls of paint pots, and you're like, you were given the full army painter set, the full citadel set, the full Vallejo, whatever it might be, and you're like, you lucky bastard. And then they do that review, that's it just sits on the wall, and you're like, give them away. There's people out there who can't afford paints. You're not using. Give them away.
Yeah, I honestly think that. I honestly think that often. There's some of my older miniatures which maybe GW that I'm thinking maybe at some point I might do a giveaway on my channel or something, you know, because I don't use them, and some of them are quite old and quite valuable, you know. Yeah. So someone might like them, you know. And I don't want them just sitting around, you know. It's pointless them just sitting in the box. So, you know, at some point I probably will do that as a, you know, maybe an X amount member, you know, thing giveaway or something, you know. So.
Like, for example, I'm going to give him a shout out here, bless him. He's only got 62 subscribers, so not like no other gamer. So he started off doing Rainbow Siege. He's a little lad. I think he's like 12, 13. I know him through a friend. I've never met the lad, but he said, "Oh, I really love the crafty video. You do these cool." And I said, "Well, you know what?" And I did him a box. He did an unboxing on his channel. I gave him a load of paint, stuff that I didn't need.
Yeah, some
models, load of kits, some glue, everything he needs. Stop. So there you go, mate. That's yours. Have that. I'm not getting any use out of it. Go and enjoy yourself. Brilliant. And he's loving the hobby, and I'm like, "Yep, enjoy it."
No, that's really good. I think I don't know. I saw you mention it or something somewhere.
Yeah, I'll give him a couple of shout outs. Yeah, bless him.
Yeah. I think I saw that. And so that was a really nice thing for you to do. And I think that's something as YouTubers we should be trying to do. Encourage people. You know, in whatever way we can. You know, you might not be able to afford to give stuff away. You know, fair enough. You know, but you can encourage. That's free. You know. Yeah.
Well, it's like when I bought my, because I'm an idiot, I went and bought the massive Vallejo set when it first came out. But I had the original army painter set, and my best friend who also does miniature painting, not on channel or anything, just does it for fun. I gave him all my army paints, and I said, "There you go, mate, that's yours." The whole box set, and it was like, I don't know, 60 bottles. And he said, "Do you want anything for us?" I said, "No, well, I'm not going to use it. You might as well, because I'm falling in love with Vallejo."
Yeah. I think that's upscaling, if you want to call it that way. You know, you may as well give it to someone who, you know, is going to appreciate it. Yeah. You know, that's the way the hobby should work. That's how the world should work.
Well, yeah, this is it.
You know, whether it does or not, no, it doesn't. But you know, that's how it should work.
Well, if we all start to follow and love Cthulhu.
Oh yes.
He will give the eternal blessing of the old ones and all of us.
I don't think I want his blessings, thanks.
I'm sure it's really nice and wet. That's staying in. Fuck it. Mate, if I've kept the glue sniffing in the one episode, that's staying in.
Wow.
I had to put a big warning on the video.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
not encouraged.
No, yeah, definitely not.
So the final thing, anyway, that I dislike about some YouTube channels is when you can see it becomes a job.
Yeah.
It seems to lose the passion, and it becomes very much like when you've been sponsored. It feels very forced. You're not doing the things that you love anymore. You're doing the things that you're getting paid to do. And I get it. People need to get paid in order to make content if you're going to go down the job route.
Yeah.
But it's no longer, I think with a lot of them, it's no longer their passion project. It's just the way that they pay the bills.
This is something we've spoken about personally. When your hobby is no longer your hobby.
It's sad because, you know, obviously everybody wants to get paid to do their favourite thing, but unfortunately then it becomes a job, and I think it can overtake the enjoyment, the hobby of it, and it just becomes like any other job. You know, it becomes, I go to work, I do this, I come home, and then I enjoy myself, and it's like, well, no. Yeah, that's what people want to see, is the enjoyment, not you going to work.
Yeah. You know? No, completely agree. One thing I would add on the dislikes, and again, I will hold my hands up, I'm guilty of this when I first started out, is playing the algorithm. Top 10 tips to make you a great painter. Only do these 5 things. The 2 items you will only ever need, and all this shit. It's like, yeah, piss off. Because all you're doing is you're pricing out people. People are watching that going, oh, fuck, do I really need to do all that? Oh, I thought you were just slapping paint on my knees. And no. And I'm guilty of it. I did silly stuff. And now, and again, this is something I've learned from yourself. I love the fact you're, you'll say, like, how I painted, or this particular box kit bashed. That's it. There's no playing the algorithm, it's just that's what it is. And I do that, and I go, how I painted, boom. And I love that, because it's like, yeah, keep it honest.
Yeah, exactly. You know, everybody could play the algorithm. We know how the algorithm works to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know, we know if we mention GW, if we say something not particularly nice about a company or about something, it'll get picked up. If we say best ways of doing something, it'll get picked up. But, you know, that is just playing the algorithm. That's not producing anything honest or anything, you know, that you're feeling passionate about. That's just...
But you could have honest opinions that you want to get out there, and that's fine.
100%.
But yeah, it's the how you do it. But then...
Yeah.
And are we looking at this because we're smaller channels as well? But is it... those people have lost that little bit of spark that they originally had? I don't know. Like in business, you get to it seems to me anyway, you get to a certain pay bar, you just don't give a shit about anyone below you. You just go, oh well that's what the ones above me have said, so go on, crack on.
Yeah, I to a certain extent I think that's the case. I think you get different worries as you get a bigger channel. You know, you get to the point where, how am I going to pay these bills? It doesn't matter so much now, am I getting my message across, because I need to pay my bills. You know, and I think, you know, your focus changes, I think, as you get a bigger channel. I'm hoping my focus doesn't change too much. We will see when I'm, when I'm the new Mr. Beast.
Oh God! Don't, please don't. Oh, that man gets on my last fucking nerve. I'm sorry.
To be honest, I've never watched any of his content, so I couldn't actually give you any comment. Just from what I know of the style of person he is, it's just never really entertained me. You know, to watch some narcissistic person do whatever. You know. But yeah, I don't know why it becomes a thing where the more followers you get, the more commercial you become. I suppose it's like in most of these like boutique businesses that make miniatures. You know, they're so passionate about it. They'll do it in their garage, and they'll make 1 million of these little guys who no one really wants, but they're passionate about them. And then you go up the grade until you get to the GWs who just want to sell shit. They don't feel passionate about this weird hedgehog man that you just made. They just want to sell it, you know?
Yeah. It's one of them for me. And again, I will always admit to it that there's envy there. 100% there's envy there. And definitely unfounded, because there's people out there far, far better at this than me. But it's keeping that grounded. It's a hobby. This is something I do to separate myself from work life and life in general. Yeah. Like little things like this, you won't tell here because of the background, but I've recently reorientated my desk. My back is to the rest of my bedroom because I want it separated. When I go and slouch about on bed and watch a film or whatever, I don't want that to be part of my YouTube stuff. Or when I'm just sitting there painting for myself.
Well, there might be a market.
Shocking. That camera gets lit out the way when I go. But no, it's like the other day I put a short up of this mind flayer that I painted. I just sat and painted him for me. Just taking my time and just having a bit of fun with it, because it's we spoke about this. It's our release from everything. Yeah. To just go and do this and not have to worry.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing, coming back to the YouTube part, was that sometimes we will paint stuff which will never get onto YouTube because it wasn't meant for YouTube. It was meant for us to chill and, it's, as much as people want to see everything that you do, some things are just for you to unwind, and it won't ever get to the channel, and the viewer misses out on one miniature that you painted, but you need that miniature to unwind.
Yeah, definitely. Also, that for me as well, it's the because the way I've got the little thingy on for my phone's usually about here, and then I'm painting like this. I just want to sit and just paint with the Welsh grip. And just sit and paint and not have to worry about camera angles, the lighting.
Yeah, that was the problem I used to have when I used to wear the goggles to paint.
Yep.
Is as I leant forward, you could see the goggles appear under the camera. So everything went really weird looking. So I had to,
Well, it's why a lot of my videos, when I've do these painting videos, when it gets to the end, it's the little tiny details like the eyebrows or the eyes or whatever. You'll see it just cuts to the finished thing, because that is me arcing over, going, right, I'm going to get that in there.
Yeah.
You're just going to see the back of my head.
Touching your nose with the miniature.
I've done too much of a pupil. I'm going to have to wipe that out and wash it again.
Yeah, well, there has to be a certain amount of movie magic in order to get things done, if you showed every little step, you'd be like, oh my god, this is taking forever.
Yeah. It's also like, going back to the YouTube thing, the YouTubers or the channels, sometimes you'll see a channel, and I've had this happen, and you watch it and you go, oh, that's really good content, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, they blow up. They get massive loads of subscribers overnight, and you're like, fucking hell, wow. And then I'm like, well, I'm doing shit. And again, I'm doing stuff that's as good as that. Why am I not?
Yeah.
If you're going to do YouTube, don't compare yourself to other people. There's no point.
I think that's a big thing. Like, I can't say I ever have compared myself to other people. I know I'm not like other people.
Yeah. But again, this is why I like your stuff, because it's honest. I went down the rabbit hole to start with of. Okay, so that's the algorithm. I had like all the vidIQ plugins for my YouTube. Like, this is what's trending. There's no point.
I'm quite an old man now at 50. I've discovered myself, and I'm happy with myself. But finally, it's taken a long time to be happy with myself. But I am finally here at the point where I'm happy with myself, and I think that means a lot. I don't compare myself. I don't compare myself anymore to anyone else. It's like, whatever. I'm kooky. I'm me. Yeah, definitely. And I'm happy with that.
No, I completely agree. And that's, again, that comes through in the videos. And this is that core mantra. It's having fun. With what you're doing. And if you want to share it, great. More power to you. And if it explodes, even better. Just remember where you started. And
remember, you have no control over it.
Yeah.
If you're going into YouTube, don't think, if I do everything right, my videos are going to go ballistic. They won't.
Well, it's like I had a comment on one of my Trench Crusade videos. Oh, you're on the Trench Crusade bandwagon? And I was like, I was honest, and I said, yes, it's the timing is the same. I am genuinely into this, and I think I'm sure I put it on as a post. I may not have done. And I basically showed my backer. All I've backed is the rule book. I've not bothered with the minis. Just because I love the idea of the setting spoke to me, and that's why I did it. And then I've not done Trench Crusade video for months now, because I'm waiting for the rulebook so I can play it properly.
Saying you're jumping on the bandwagon is a bit ridiculous, because obviously when everybody's excited about it, you get excited about it, because there's a mass of people who are excited about this thing. So it's like if there's a blockbuster movie coming out, you might think, oh great, I'm going to want to watch that too, because you joined in on this sort of mass enjoyment. So you are jumping on the bandwagon, but it's kind of like everyone is. It's because you're enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly.
A game is about for a while, and then it will sort of slip from people's minds a bit. So if you don't enjoy it while it's there, it's going to be difficult for you to capture the same sort of emotions when it's moved on, and it's.
Yeah, and that's something I'm hoping is coming through on the Moonstone stuff, because that's been out, I think 3-4 years.
Yeah, why?
Maybe a bit longer. I'm new to it and I'm loving it. I'm hoping that's coming across. This is genuine fanning out at this stuff.
Yeah, I can see it in you. You know, we've spoken quite a few times, so we're getting to know each other, me and you. So I can read your tells a bit more than maybe the average person can, because I know you a little bit better than most people. But I can see that you've got a passion for Moonstone. And it's brilliant. I think it's great when people have got a passion for something. It's fun to see.
Yeah, it's a weird one, because at that period where I didn't do painting for a bit, I was doing a lot of wargaming, like World War II, modern, sort of Cold War wargaming at 3mm scale. So that's still a niche part of me. That's something no one on the channel has ever seen, and I still paint that style stuff, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
Like I've said before, I think there's something to be said about very small scale miniatures. You can have that big army on your normal size table, and the ranges don't look so stupid. It's like, oh, my tank can only shoot 2 foot, and it's like, why can a tank only shoot 2 foot?
That's it, definitely. I think overall YouTube, you got to be careful, because it can be a trap. You can get yourself trapped quite easily, and just stay true to who you are and have fun with what you're doing. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. Maybe where we want our channels to go. This is going to sound weird, but 1K subscribers would be nice. Just because it says 1K.
Sorry, when you say something's going to be weird, I really worry.
Well, right, okay, so this is secretly, and I'll pretend that I'm not going to leave this in, but I will. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, you see, Welsh, what's going to happen is that's when I can call the Elder Gods in. Because those people, when they press sub, whether they know it or not.
Souls.
No, it's, for me, I think 1K would be nice, just because it's 1K, looks good.
It's a round number.
But I'm not bothered. One of the nicest things my friend said to me the other day, a couple of weeks back, sorry, and he was like, "Oh wow, I think I was on 750-ish subs," and he was like, 750, like that's a small village who follow you, and I was like, and I sort of reality checked. I said, "Yeah, but on average, I'm probably getting about 50 views a video." He said, "That's 50 people are going to tune in to watch you every week." I'm like, "That's cool." And I was like, "Actually, that's awesome."
Yeah, it is quite. That's one of the things I will never take for granted. However many people I've got watching me, and you, I think the same way. We'll never take for granted that people are taking time, that precious commodity that no one's ever going to get back.
Yep.
Sit down and watch you do something, or watch me do something. That's something special. I know that sounds a bit namby-pamby, a bit hairy-fairy, or whatever you want to call it. But it is something special that people have taken time out of their day to listen to you and, to watch you. And it's like, wow. And if you think like, say 50 people or 100 people or whatever watch your video, if you think of that sitting in a room,
exactly
100 people sitting there watching you, it's like, all of you have come to see me.
Yeah, it's very, very humbling.
It's very humbling. And I think smaller channels like you and myself, I think we can see that more maybe than the bigger ones who it just becomes a number.
Yeah.
It's very hard to visualize that these people are people. They're just numbers now. Yeah. It's hard to, and that's not their fault. Once you get to big numbers in anything, it's hard to visualize,
I like as well being, one of the nice things is when you do get comments. If it's someone who's commented one of your first videos, like there's this one particular subscriber, she pops up every so often.
Right.
Normally if I'm doing more arty stuff, because that's what she's into rather than the painting, which I have got more coming. But she pops up every so often, and I'm like, oh, wow, you've been here since the start. That's awesome. Good. I'm glad that you're still watching.
Yeah, that's nice. There are a few subscribers that I have, who regularly comment on stuff, and you know, naturally, I kind of know that, although I don't know their names, when they pop up, because I got terrible memory, when I see their names, it'd be like, oh yeah, that person, you know, I know that person. And that's quite good, you know, that's quite, you know, I'm glad you've returned. I'm glad you're building on this sort of, you know, relationship that that we've got, etc. You know, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
It is a good feeling, you know. Equally, when someone says something shit, it can feel a little bit like, okay.
I don't get annoyed by that anymore. I used to.
No, I can't say I do, but I do feel like, why did you bother making the comment?
I mean, also, if it's a legit bad comment as well, like, again, going to that Procreate video, someone put, dude, this would be a really cool video if that music wasn't so fucking annoying. And I was like, fair comment. I'm sorry. It's shit. I wanted to put cyberpunk music in my fucking video. I'm sorry.
Just Rihanna was forcing you to put her music up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, actually, that's one slightly jumping back to annoying things in YouTube.
Okay.
I'd love if the copyright thing had fuck off. Because when I'm sitting here painting, I have got a plethora of music I'm listening to, and I'd love for you to listen to that while I'm painting it. Because it might show off that inspiration.
I get why you can't, you know, using someone else's creativity and all that lot. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's free advertisement for the artist.
Yeah. But
because someone go, oh, well, that's a good track. What's that? Oh, that's Deftones, blah blah blah, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah. So things I would want from my channel. Me, in the end, I would like my channel to get big enough that I could do something like a Discord or something like that. Okay. You know, somewhere where like-minded people could come, share what they're working on, discuss the hobby, you know. So it's not quite so one way as YouTube, you know. Although I'm getting feedback, it's not a conversation, you know. Yeah. So I would like to get big enough that I could think, oh yeah, Discord would be worth it. Like at the moment, I would probably have been me sitting there waiting for people to come in and I'll pounce on them. You know? Yeah. You know, so it needs to be big enough that it would be, you know, self-filling with conversations, etc. So, yeah, at some point, I would like to get to that point.
I'd love to see, and it's a video I've always wanted to do, is if you get enough people who are willing as well to send you their photos of their paint jobs, not to critique and just be like, oh wow, you've done this, and just share that with people.
Yeah. Oh, I like that miniature. That's really good. If you couldn't think of anything else, you could say, oh, I really like that miniature. Yeah. That's a really nice miniature. Or I like the way you put the arms on that person, you know, or whatever. You know, there's always something you can say. Yeah, that I would like that. That's something I would like.
Because that hits the same level for me. I'll do little mini dioramas for friends for presents and things, because I like to give a personalised gift. And it's that same sort of hit for me. Someone can be like, oh, I've done this, whether or not it was inspired by a video I've done, and just like, what do you think? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's really cool. Can I share this on the channel and get people?
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. That's kind of the idea that I have with the idea of Discord in the end, is kind of like, you know, we can share what we're working on. We can all, as a community, enjoy this thing, you know. You know, I admitted you'd have to police it because, you know, there's always someone who wants to shit on everybody's parade.
Bad.
But, you know, hey ho.
Yeah, that's unfortunately that's part of the culture with the internet as well. So
yeah. So that is kind of my take on YouTube, anyway.
Yep, that's cool.
Yeah. I do have a couple of questions that have been asked. If we maybe go to that next.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a question from Mini Pots. Okay, Mini Pots, apparently. They said, what game are we currently playing and why? Okay, well, because I've had a bit of time, I'll say my. Currently, I am not playing any games. I haven't played any games for about 2 weeks now. Why? The kids are on holiday. So they're about the house a bit too much for me to settle down and do any actual gaming. What I am doing is reading rules for games.
Okay.
So at the moment, let me stretch over here. Wait. So what I'm reading at the moment is Guards of Traitor's Toll.
Ooh,
Which looks like a really fun game, actually. I'm looking forward to playing that. And 5 Leagues from the Borderlands.
I've heard of this. This is apparently very good. 5 Leagues.
I've been playing my 5 parsecs, so I was asking in my posts what I should maybe look into, and a lot of people saying 5 Leagues from the Borderlands was a very good game. So that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment, is reading up on rules more than playing rules. And actually, the Guards of Traitor's Toll looks like it's a really good game for war gamers, but not war gamers. People who like to play with miniatures.
Oh, okay.
But not necessarily a war game.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
It's more like a board game with miniatures. That's how it feels. It's it looks like a fun game. So that's that question. Those questions answered. What about yourself? What games are you playing?
So annoyingly, Moonstone's taken a back seat. Mainly because I'm trying to paint, because I got bought a lot of stuff for my birthday recently, so I'm painting that as well. But I've got an obsession. Dune Spice Wars. It's the massive Simon board game, and it's silly. I've played solo. I played with my friend. What a game! And then I'm looking at the minis and I go, I'm going to paint all these as well. Let's make it all look sexy. To the point, I even went and bought a separator for the box and inlay to have everything out, and it cost more than the fucking game. And I was like, but it looks cool. That game is so good. And then
the minis like tiny little things, or
they're probably about 10 mil.
Okay,
about 10 mil. They're not too bad. There's some of them you get all the details a bit crap, but honestly, for that scale though, I've painted 4 or 5 now. A bit of colour and a wash. At that scale, it looks beautiful. And when it's all set up, it's going to look really nice, because you get all like the harvesters and the ornithopters and stuff, and all the heroes as well. And then a spin-off from that is I'm getting a hankering to do some role-play games again. So as I always do, I'll get my Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu out, read that, because that's a game I'll always play. But the other one is Dune Imperium, the Morphidius, I think that's how you pronounce it, role-play game. Modiphius. Yeah, because I've never played a system with the 2D20. And this game looks good, and I'm absolutely love Dune. It's one of my favourite series. So, that's what I'm. Well, Dune Awakening is what I'm playing, but getting some stuff ready.
Yeah. And another question from Mini Pots was, what mini are you currently painting, and why did you choose that mini? So. There are 2 things that I'm painting at the moment. There is another one of these 3D printed trolls that I had a big box full of them.
They're cool,
there you go. And a present from the Crafty Mini.
Is this what was in the random mystery box?
That was one of them, yeah. That was a Groot-esque Ent-like person.
Okay, cool.
So those are 2 of the things I paint. I'm also painting, so by the time this video comes out, it will have been things. It's like my next month's review miniatures.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which are the Hoorah?
Oh, Space Fields,
Yeah, Death Fields, the War Games Atlantic, sort of near future sort of US Marine style like miniatures. So that's going to be my review, and it would have been up by now, so it's no big thing. The only slight problem with that is I finished painting them and I was going to varnish them, and as I was spraying my army painter varnish all over them, my can exploded in my hand.
Whoa.
And it sprayed everything with varnish, including me. So my miniatures now are very glossy, so I'm going to have to try and figure out a way of getting the glossiness down again on them. So I'll have to get some more matte thing to put on top.
Didn't damage your hand or anything?
No, it's just my skin has got a nice smooth coat on it now from the varnish.
Oh man.
Yeah. So why I picked that is because, like with any miniatures that I paint now, it's either for the channel, and if it's for the channel, it also has to be something I can use in one of my games. So this, I thought, could be easily used in 5 parsecs, etc. So, what about yourself? What are you painting?
So I'm gonna be starting the Dune stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a bit weird with my painting, so if that'll show. So I bought a plinth. I've got to find something to put on there now.
Okay.
I've just done a miniature for which was for the Craft Crusade said to do. So again, so by now the video will be out. So I don't even know if this will. Oh, that's blinding.
Whoa.
Oh, crumbs. So that is the original Hero Quest elf.
All right, yeah.
So that is the first ever mini I painted. I think I was about 10, 11 when I did that. So I did him with my Pro Acryls, and I tried to keep it to the artwork as best I can. And then luckily at the same time I found I've got 2 of every hero. So I might do a little diorama of them. And then this delicious skeleton. Because I've not done anything grotesque for a while, so I'm going to do something with him. I'm going to milliput and do some sculpting on there as well. But that's about it, really. I haven't got much planned, to be honest. I just sort of painting. I know what I'm going to do when I get there, but the actual mini, I've got loads of stuff, and I just search through. And I've got a whole down here next to me. I've got a game. I keep meaning to do a review. So it's Spectre.
So right, wow. Okay, they got lovely miniatures. I love those miniatures.
Yeah, I found a guy on Etsy who did some 3D prints, and I've got like CIA operatives, Tier 1, a load of terrorists and stuff. I really want to play this game, and that's all sitting. And because I'm a sad geek, those of you who watch my last days, I did it in the box with the zombie stuff on. This is in an ammunition box, the game, so I'm like, it's all themed. Which is quite cool.
I was going to say, actually, you could use that in, of course, zombie apocalypse games as well. So
yes, yeah. To be fair, I want to get Last Days back on the table. I've not played it for a while.
I haven't played it for ages, and I loved Last Days. I don't know.
Good game, those.
Yeah, I think I got Seasons as well. You know.
Same. Yep.
So the trouble was I picked a good crew, and of course when they're selfless crews, I ended up with all my good characters like starving to death because they're giving all their food to the lesser peon characters. So it's like, I think next time I'm gonna have to play as like someone selfish so I can keep my good people alive.
Yeah. Oh, that game is so good.
It was a very good game. It's a very good game.
Yeah.
So the last question that I had was, what do I read and what do I read if I read? So I do read. I don't read an awful lot because I am an exceptionally slow reader. I like to digest everything I read, so it takes me forever to read a book. But my go-to author is David Gemmell.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah. So I think the last book I reread was probably Legend.
Okay. Never read that myself.
What?
No. Oh, David Gemmell, I'm very new to. A friend gave me a couple of his books about 3-4 months ago. I haven't got around to reading them yet.
Okay. Legend. You need to get Legend. Get Legend. Get Legend.
a lot of people. I struggle because it's finding time. So I will happily put an audiobook on. So if I can get it in audio form with a good narrator, that's definitely one. Reading at loads. Too much stuff. Far too much. I've got about 6 books on the go.
Wow.
So redoing Dune audiobook because I'm just in a Dune mood at the moment. I've got, what's that book called? Pat Rothfuss, his series. I've started that.
Okay.
I can't remember what the other one's got. Oh, he does. Bear with me. I'll put a little what's it called? Because it's a really good, really good series. As people know, I love my history.
Yeah.
But this guy, so it's Harry Turtledove's the author.
Right.
And it's he's got an alternate World War II series. So the war starts in 36. Spoilers: Churchill ends up getting assassinated, and it's sort of like what would happen. So I'm reading through that series at the moment, and then just because I'm in a World War II hit, I've got Anthony Beevor's Arnhem historical book, and if you like World War II fiction, Sven Hassel.
Oh.
Oh, I love.
My brother is a huge fan of Sven Hassel.
I've got nearly everything by him, and they're so easy to read as well. Pretty not very light stuff at the moment.
No. Dune or reality? Yeah,
it's not a. I'm looking at the books here, and I'm just going. Yeah, they're all pretty heavy as well. Yeah.
Nothing like a bit of escapism.
I love it. I love. I will say as well, just as a weird shout out, if you can get an audiobook narrated by Sean Barrett, just buy it. It'll be good. I guarantee you. That man, he's got almost like Richard Burton type voice.
Welshie. You did bring up a Welshie.
Was he Welsh? Was he really? He didn't say Welsh.
He was bloody Welsh.
But yeah, anything by Sean Barrett's always good.
Right. Okay. So, any questions from your subscribers?
Weirdly, no.
No.
A lot of people are just like really looking forward to seeing the podcast, and I'm like, well, I hope it does well.
I hope it does well too.
We're having a laugh doing it, which is good.
We are having a laugh, yes.
I think it's nice because that should come through when people are watching it.
I hope so.
Because it is fun. I am enjoying it.
Yeah. You're not a bad sort, you know. So,
and yeah, I've rediscovered my love for simple miniatures.
Yeah.
Just nice, simple sculpts.
I love those simple miniatures.
Yeah, they love. Just painting that elf was it was a breath of fresh air. Yeah. It really was.
I hate to use the word because it's very sort of sounds like you're undermining or something. But they're very sort of quaint, painting older miniatures, and I don't like using that word because it's got that sort of thing like you know. But they are, they're nice and bold. They're old school. There's something quite warm and nostalgic about painting them.
100% agree. There's something I mentioned in the video for that. It was this is someone who buys a shed ton of 3D printed stuff, and they are beautiful sculpts, and there's very talented people who make them. There's something to be said about that's been sculpted by hand and then put into a mold, whereas like a lot of the 3D stuff now is all done on like Blender or computer. It's very neat, and little things like the folds in his hair are all wrong, and I was like, yeah, but that's fine. It's charm. Yeah, a lot of charm.
Charm. Yeah. I think it's got that very sort of boutique feel about it. I use that word a lot, I know, but it has. It's got that sort of someone has crafted this. Yeah. And it doesn't feel quite the same. I know someone's crafted a 3D miniature, but it's via the computer they've crafted it, as opposed to actually chiseled away at this stuff. But there's something special about old miniatures.
Definitely. Just trying. I was laughing with my housemate when I was painting. I was like, the plastic I am painting is older than you, and he couldn't get his head around it. He's like, what? I was like, oh yeah, that's older than you are, because it's like 89.
Yeah, I'm cracking out miniatures now, and I'll go to my wife because my wife is the same age as you, by the way.
Okay.
And I go, see this miniature? It's 3 years older than you are.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got a lot of miniatures like that, so it's
cool.
like, it's like, I remember getting this. Hang on, how old were you? Oh yes, you weren't even born yet. It's a way to make yourself feel really old.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah. So should we go on to YouTube channels that we would suggest? Or?
Yeah, man.
Okay. do you want to start with?
What I'll do with this when we do it, I'll pop up some artwork from their channels as well.
Yeah.
Because actually a random one. When you mentioned in a previous video, what was the artist's name? Previous podcast, we were talking about art that inspires us.
Okay.
There's a fantasy artist.
Oh sugar! Hang on, he'll come to me. Yeah, leave it with me. I'll get it.
But so I decided to do is put some pictures up of the artists we spoke about. The one guy you mentioned, because it's that old school 80s D&D, really nice stuff. I was like, I've never looked at this before.
Oh god!
When you were talking about colour schemes and things.
Yeah. Oh jeez. It's one of those things. I always know his name, and now I can't remember it.
But yeah, I mean, you were gushing over him, and rightly so. Beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
It's got almost that sort of old Conan sword and sorcery vibe about it, which is nice.
It was that sort of era just after that Conan era, but before Larry Elmore and all that lot really took the fantasy, and run with it. Angus McBride.
That's the budget.
But he was sort of in between stage, I think. Or that's how he feels, anyways. I'm not 100% sure of that, but he feels like he's sort of in between the old Conan and the Yeah,
really, really nice. Really nice.
I like his stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you've been this anal with this as I have. So I've got some honourable mentions first of all.
All right, so hang on. I've broken mine down into general hobby, battle reports, terrain, and painting. Okay, so that's how I've broken mine.
Okay, I've literally done honourable mentions, and these are my favourites.
Okay, yep.
I've got 10.
Oh wow, okay.
But yeah, honourable mentions for me. This is just people I like to watch. Mm-hmm. So Seth Skorkowski. So he's an author, and he does a lot of reviews on role-play games, in particular Call of Cthulhu stuff. So if you want to get into, especially the module stuff he does, so he will go and play a module professionally, and if tentacles. But if he will then review it for you as a GM, which is nice. So if you're some things he will point, and he's not afraid of going, this is an issue, the author should have done this, and which I really like. So yeah, he's an honourable mention. Black Magic Craft, just really good stuff. Because of him,
everybody knows Jeremy.
Yeah, because of him, I've got a box full of dungeon tiles out of foam. And under my desk now, I have a Procyon bloody foam cutter, which I've used about 6 times. Thanks, mate. But that's good. Craft Crusades. Because he's recently mentioned the channel, his paintwork is phenomenal, and not to put pressure on you, mate, if you're watching this, but I'd love you to see some full form videos, because he just does shorts at the moment.
All right,
beautiful paint jobs. And then for me, there's 2 more honourable mentions. So Ace of Clay. So I do a lot of sculpting in my spare time. I've done it a little bit on the channel, so I like watching his stuff. It's very Tim Burton-esque. And then Welsh Miniature Board Gamer as well.
Oh, well, you know. I'm only an honourable mention.
I mean, I do watch every single one of your videos.
Likewise.
But yeah, they're my honourables. And then I don't think you can really break these up into things, so I'll just go through mine. MS Paints is one of my favourites. A lot of respect for that man. The fact he did a whole year with no 40k as well. And he was honest. It bloody hurt his channel, but I love his stuff. I love his style. He's not afraid to say what he thinks. These 2 are sort of together, Miniac and Ninjon. I enjoy both their stuff. North of the Border, so he's a sculptor, does a lot of clay stuff, but a bit out there as well, which I like. Resourceful Miniatures I've recently found, so he's got quite a big size channel. So I apologise, I think he's Spanish.
Right.
He's so good. Like his techniques with oil paints. If you want to learn how to use oil paints on miniatures, go watch him. He's brilliant.
Nice. Okay.
Tabletop Minions, because of course, if you just want to have a video and you want to hear about the chat about the hobby, and then same as that is Guerrilla Miniature Games. A big fan of Ash. And then for just watching miniature painting for art, for me, is Sergio Calvo Miniatures. He's an artist. He's not a miniature painter, What he does with the miniature is phenomenal. And then we've got Philar Miniatures, which is a little channel. He does a lot of historical stuff, which I absolutely adore. And Miscast, if you've ever heard.
I've heard of it, but
Australian or New Zealand. I can't remember which. But he... they're the same. Both colonies. They both have Union Jacks on their flags. They're all right.
that there is fighting talk.
Bring it. You still serve the crown. No, but yeah, the Miscast really go and watch his Nurgle diaries. Not because it's 40k. How that man kit bashes is mental. He will take a limited run 1982 miniature and chop the fuck out of it just to make something cool. He's phenomenal, and the way he does colour is beautiful. He does this beautiful pink and blue, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, sorry, that's me. I've ranted. That's my go-tos.
No, that was good. I haven't heard through a lot of those, so that was quite interesting. Yeah,
we'll link all these up as well in the description.
Yeah. So, for me, I've broken them down into categories. So,
of course you have.
Of course I have. Not that I'm compulsive or anything. All right. So terrain. So I like Zorp.
Okay, cool. Because this was I was interested in hearing your list for because you mentioned. You watch a lot of terrain.
I watch loads of terrain. That's kind of my jam, is the thing. So Zorp, he's an Australian gentleman who's just moved to New Zealand because he wanted to live in Lord of the Rings land. And his boards are more of a display piece, I would say. They are absolutely huge. Crazy massive. Not the sort of stuff that, any normal, sane human being would ever try and make. But he does, and he makes these massive things. So full sort of big boards of Helm's Deep, etc. He'll make that sort of thing, and what have you. So Zorp, Devs and Dice, who is Swedish. He's a Scandinavian gentleman, and he makes a lot of like Mordheim style buildings. Okay. Very sort of like crumbling. Thing and uses techniques which I think most of us could probably use. They're unlike Zorp. This is much more, sort of normal player standard sort of. People can make it difficult. He makes them look good, but they are achievable. So that's by Leaf, I think his name is. So there you go. So then there's. Okay, I'm going to butcher this guy's name because I think he's Belgian. Alrufian's Terrain Tutorials. Yeah. Now, the good thing about this gentleman, I'm not going to butcher his name again, is that he makes terrain on a budget. Okay. So he uses like stuff that he scavenges from places, and he's the type of person who will make a 40k rhino out of like plastic containers and cardboard, etc. So he doesn't have to buy the Games Workshop thing, etc. He makes stuff look like other things and makes it cheap. So he's also done a lot of Mantic's The Walking Dead. He's made a lot of terrain for that, cool. Etc. Very really decent sounding dude. Kind of like him. So yeah. So those are kind of my terrain 3, if I had to knock it down to 3. I could think of a lot more, but that's kind of my thing. So general hobby sort of things. Tabletop minions, because he just goes through everything. At some point he's going to mention what you're interested in, because he goes through every topic there is. I'm amazed by how many topics that man can come up with. It's quite amazing. MS Paints. Yep. I like MS Paints for general hobby. Just watching him do stuff, it's fun. Now, I've said before that I don't like people who over-package and over-edit things. He over-packages and over-edits everything, and yet it works brilliantly, because he comes through on it so well. Even though he tells a little story all the way through his videos. it comes across well, and you can see his passion, even though he's edited it, down to the last millisecond or whatever. And his little puppets, everybody likes
Hellsoft Frog,
that's the one. So general hobby as well, beard clipper. The beard clipper does, again, he uses a lot of like normal sort of household things to make his terrain. I would say they're very beginner friendly terrains he makes. And he also does stuff like with his daughter making stuff. His channel is very sort of eclectic and bounces around all over the place, from his painting to his making little dioramas and what have you. And I think they're very sort of beginner friendly, and he teaches you some, pretty useful things. But he's a general hobbyist, I would say, and he's quite, he's a nice, decent fellow. Battle reports, Guerrilla Miniature Games, Ash, he's just so good at doing it. He's the only person I actually have a Patreon paid. And yeah, he's introducing me to so many different games that I could not put him in this list. This is not a test. It was all through him. Of course, his own game, the
Last Days.
That's the one. So he's done so much that it's hard to actually think. But he's kind of like the godfather of battle reports at this point. He just does them all. And painting, well, there's hang on, was this Crafty Mini? Oh yeah, Crafty Mini.
Okay, yeah.
I do watch him sometimes. I
feel bad now. Any honourable mention? I didn't put you on the list.
He's a bit of a dick, but you can get him. And the other person I watch is Dr. Faust Painting Clinic, and he's pretty good at explaining stuff as well.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, I watch him quite a bit. He's a good painter, but again, I feel like he's not to the point where he talks down to you when he's explaining how you paint something. He's just painting his, whatever. Yeah, I quite enjoy watching his.
Yes, I know this man because he did that fantastic owlbear quite recently, a couple of months. Yeah, I know this is. Yeah, he's very good. Very
I like him. But again, he's not like one of these ones who 2,000 layers later, you're still looking at the same miniature. He does, he goes like, he goes beyond what I paint, of course, but he doesn't go to a point where he's completely lost me and I'm no longer interested in what he's painting.
Yeah.
So, those are my mentions.
That's cool. There's some good ones on there. I like the fact that Tabletop Minions and Guerrilla War Games have crossed streams.
That is, and MS Paints.
Oh yes. They are. I just love them, Charles. I will say what Guerrilla Miniatures, and this is just a personal one for me. When I did my Last Days series, where I went through painting all the different types and talking about the game, he was genuinely kind enough to reach out and comment on my videos, and I was like, I love that. I said, and it's something simple like, I'm so happy that you like my game. I was like, wow, he's actually. This is when I was quite new to YouTube.
Yeah.
And that game is brilliant.
Yeah,
I love that game.
I'm a big fan of Ash's stuff. I got the he did like his bi-yearly Blaster magazine. He did like with some of the other people. So I've got a bunch of them that he did games in. I think. He was in GW for a long time, and he got quite high up in GW Canada, I think, before deciding he wanted to focus on other things and not be that person. And although he still does a lot of GW stuff, he introduces the world to a lot of games that no one would ever have got their hands on if it wasn't for him suggesting them. I honestly do think that.
Yeah, so, he's the reason I got into Joseph McCulloch.
Yeah,
a lot of these games, and that was through Guerrilla Miniatures. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, to be honest, if you're like, I want to find out about a game. Generally speaking, he would have done a battle report. He's
already looked at it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah. So,
but again, going back to the earlier in the video, again, he's like a lot of the ones on the list. They come across genuine,
Yeah.
as well when you're watching them. So
Yeah. Right, take Ash for example for Guerrilla Miniature Games. Like financially, he will actually talk about his finances and the fact that at the moment he is struggling because YouTube has gone to a point where although he's got millions of videos and people watch those videos, there's something that he just doesn't get the consistent viewership that YouTube wants.
yeah,
So he's made it like multiple channels now in order to try and get people to watch his older stuff because he's got thousands and thousands of videos. And he's a person. Although it tells you the business side of it. He tells you he needs this money for this, and he needs to make this many videos and what have you. You still feel like he enjoys the games, and he's doing what he wants to do. Especially because although he does GW stuff, he does do a load of miniatures agnostic games.
Yeah,
loads of, and he's not getting money for doing that.
No, definitely, that's 100% agree with that. He's a wealth of knowledge.
He is.
Yeah. So are we done with YouTubes?
I can't think of anything else that I would want to add. So unless you have some words of wisdom that you wish to part upon us,
no. Have fun with whatever it is you're doing. It's your hobby. It's yours. Don't worry about anyone else and what they think and say. As long as you're happy doing it.
100%.
Yeah, that's it really.
It's that the hobby or YouTube.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah. It's I don't think it's that. Don't get me wrong. I've been down the rabbit hole as I've mentioned, but I don't think it's that difficult anymore. Just do what you want to do.
It's not difficult if what you want to get out of it is sharing your hobby. What have you? It's not difficult to do. Just grab a camera, grab a phone, whatever. People will come. If you build it, they will come, or whatever. But if you want to try and make a living out of it, yes, then it probably will be quite difficult.
Yeah.
But there's probably better ways to make a living, to be honest.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Ooh.
I'm not saying nothing. So when is this website of yours going up? The trench coats and tentacles.
Right, seriously, right? You know what? We're writing a game. We're going to create a game, trench coats and tentacles.
I'm still waiting. Actually, I got this gift for you, and I'm still waiting for it to come. So when it does, I want to see your face when you open that.
Oh, okay. We'll do that live on camera on podcast. Okay, I dread to think because you keep making jokes about tentacles now. So I'm if this is like a a
big bosom. To be clear, I'm having someone make this, so it's not going to be too X-rated.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh, that's cool.
But yeah. Yeah, we do have to think of it. We need to think of like some pulp sort of Cthulhu game that we can make and name trench coats and tentacles. It's like...
I like the idea of just a post-apocalyptic fighting the elder gods miniature agnostic game. There we go.
You go.
That's what we'll do. Yeah, actually, fuck it. Yeah, this counts as copyrighted, man. We've got a date stamp on this video goes out. Trench coats and tentacles.
There you go.
Tell me no one else has had that name, because that is a...
I'm not aware that anybody has, and, I've been around for a while.
Amuse yourselves, viewers, I'm looking.
It sounds a very sort of pulp era, maybe, sort of old novel, you can picture it,
Can't see anything.
No, that's it.
There is a man in trench coat with tentacles.
Of course there is!
Look, have you played Call of Cthulhu yet? Leave me alone, them tentacles are nice.
Have you been posing for pictures again?
No. But But this is more like a shoggoth under here. Just lots of eyes and mouths. Just what was it? A globulous maw.
Okay.
But no, that was YouTube and what we like, what we don't like, and some of our favourite channels.
Agree with them, argue about them, whatever, in the comments below.
I love this. Right, if this is just going up on my channel, I'm getting all the beef for this.
That was the plan.
Bastard.
You can police it.
Bastard.
Hey, I told you I'm old and wise.
Yeah, that's not fair. Your fault you got me to sniff glue as well.
Yeah. Poor impressionable Mini.
Yeah. I was a good mushroom before I met you. But no, thank you very everyone for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.